Every weekday morning, he wakes up South Africa on the Expresso morning show. He's been in the media industry for more than 20 years and has been nominated as the best presenter at the 14th annual SABC. It's Graeme Richards. Finally, I get to have Graeme in the loft, and I'm so excited about that. If you've got any questions for Graeme, or if you've got any questions about what to whip up whilst you're in quarantine, of course, the ideas do tend to run out, rather, when you've got a full family to feed. So head over to our social media, type in your suggestions and type in your questions for Graeme, and hopefully we can attend to them. Graeme, how are you doing?
Girl, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Boop, boop.
I mean,
Beautiful.
Those shoes cannot be more white. They cannot be more clean, but that's exactly who Graeme is. I mean, 20 years strong in the industry, or rather 24 years?
I think I've lost count. You get to my age and you can lose count.
Yeah, you're allowed to, because you've put in the work, you've proven yourself, and more than anything, you've proven that you've got that thing called staying power.
Staying power. A lifetime achievement.
Absolutely. But I want to go back to when you first fell in love with entertainment, media. Have you always been this guy?
I think so. I think I was always kind of in drama and doing stuff and just, quite an extroverted kid. I was lucky enough to have really good grounding in drama. Even at school, went to a school with a very strong drama background, with a lot of kids of people who were established in the industry. So when we were doing like house plays, you would have like a Jana Cilliers or a Bill Flynn, these amazing kind of actors and actresses in the audience or they're helping you. And that, kind of started the love for it. And then I was lucky enough to start working pretty early on. And, I think my career had began before I realized that my career had begun. Yeah.
And, I think that just speaks perfectly to doing what you love. When you do what you love, you don't realize that, hey, I'm actually on the job here. And especially starting off at a young age. First of all, you are a kid after my own heart, paying for your rent before you're 18. That is what I'm all about.
My mother moved out of home before I did.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
start
saying?
earning
She was
your
like,
keep.
okay, you sorted. I'm heading off to Cape Town. I love that you got it, and I love the fact that I was an independent young person. I love that, like, going to open my first check account, and the guy at the bank, like, no, dude, you don't have proof of anything. You haven't done anything yet in your life. But I love the fact that that's who I was, and all my mates were like that. We were quite a hungry kind of group, and I was lucky enough to start. I think for me, the big turning point, getting into that Simunye space, with a lot of young people, and everyone has kind of gone on to achieve pretty cool things in the industry, but it was a really awesome, vibrant group of young people, everyone hustling, everyone with a side hustle, wanting to build an empire, do something special. So it was a very lucky break for me in that sense.
I mean, the timing was perfect. I definitely remember continuity.
Are you old enough to remember Simunye, man?
Simunye, oh, we are one, the one. Of course I remember, Graeme. I grew up on that.
Man.
I grew up on it when continuity presenting was a real thing. And in between shows, like for some of our new generations who don't know what we're talking about, in between each show, you'd have a news anchor essentially linking from one show to another to ad break and you were one of them.
And spoiler alert, like ruining the show for the next, because you'd have to give like a little synopsis of the movie. But honestly, I think I linked to about 2,500 episodes of Bold and Beautiful and Days of Our Lives, because it followed me from SABC 1 continuity to SABC 3 continuity, and and we actually got to meet, Blake and a lot of the stars, the actors from the show when they came out to South Africa. I'm like, I know you better than you know yourself. You don't understand. But it was beautiful, and I think we might have been the last country in the world to have continuity, but South Africa loves presenters. There was something about that kind of connection. People love a personality attached to the channel, and it worked for us. And it kind of feels, in a weird way, being back in that space, doing live TV every morning, kind of has a similarity.
Absolutely.
It really does feel synchronous now.
You are literally bringing yourself into people's homes every single day, showing them who you are, sharing a little bit about your own life with them. And there's that rapport, there's that love that people fall in love with. Very, very personal. But building from SABC 1, I mean, that must have opened so many doors for you. And even nailing that job was just something out of the ordinary.
Do you know, the bizarre thing is it started the process, and I think a lot of people in the industry start to, and maybe your path has kind of started to lead you in that space where each opportunity is revealed because of the last. So I remember I was with Sibs, my co-presenter of Sports Buzz, where I started like a youth sports program, and someone didn't rock up for a presentation for the World Cup, the '98 World Cup. We got thrust onto stage and had to just do this impromptu opening with like Patrice Motsepe and all of these like big guns there. And I was like 19 years old, I think, at the time. And it went well, and I remember this guy came to me afterwards, he's like, I look after the SABC One presenters, give me a call. And I was like,
ooh,
yeah, whatever, dude. And then someone took me aside, he was like, no, that's Keith Pfeiffer. He's the on-air manager of SABC One. Like, give him a call. And I didn't realize how much of a break that was going to be, because Keith, and he's now actually immigrated to Australia, but he produced Miss South Africa and Miss SA-Teen and the Dugu Dugu Awards. And he saw that I was writing. I'd started freelance writing for SABC Sports at the time while presenting, and then gave me a Miss SA to script, and then started giving me campaigns to do. And it just kind of opened up what I now realize is the opportunity in this industry to be able to do anything. It is such an open industry for young people to explore different skills. It's amazing. So yeah, it really was. For me, SABC One was a big.
I love that. I love that about the industry, and also I love your openness, being willing to receive that and then run with it and do the most. I know people always say that, you know, if you are presented with a challenge, just say yes. Even if you don't know how to do it, just say yes, take it and run with it. And now, 24 years later, you've taken every challenge that people have placed on your lap, and you've been nominated the 14th annual SAFTAs. I mean, congratulations. Can we just get a round of applause from the house? I mean, we have to celebrate our own. We have to salute our own.
Thank you.
Because you are paving the way for the rest of us coming up to see that that's kind of how you do it. How does that feel? And what would it mean to you winning?
I mean, obviously winning any award in the space is really cool, but it's, you know, I've thought a lot about it, because it does make me, when we did the announcement and everything, it was a bit awkward and it feels a bit strange, but because I honestly forget that we're on TV. I think that's the thing, is because we're such a chilled out, personal kind of space. It doesn't feel like you're presenting or doing something like that. But I think the thing that's really hit home for me, what gives me a huge amount of comfort in a weird way, it's a validation for our team, because we are a massive collaborative effort. And it's as much as I get the freedom to be able to have a lot of fun and interview these amazing people, it's a team that works. But there is a level of authenticity there, something that is more important to me than anything else, is authenticity. And we really do strive for it on the show. And for that to be validated and recognized, that is really cool. That's comforting. So in a very superficial world, for people to still, my own industry, to still appreciate authenticity, and that for me, I mean, the most important thing in the world to me, honestly, is to make people feel better about themselves and to kind of have that feeling, and for that to be given this kind of validation, it's awesome. It really is cool. I
think it's essentially saying you are on the right path and you are doing the most. Not only, I think it's one thing, thriving and being good at what you're doing, and then it's another thing surpassing that and being notable, being recognized, being one of the most loved media personalities. I mean, it's out of the ordinary.
You must know how much harder I'm working now since that nomination came in, because it feels like there is such an opportunity now. It's like, okay, well, if you have the chance to influence the way that people feel, the way that people see the world, that's something that really you have to take seriously. And it's, I mean, it's such an awesome collection of people. I mean, we've all walked parallel paths and we know each other, and I think any person on that list would be very confident that they could take home the award, because everyone is just an amazing group of people. But yeah, it's awesome, man.
I think these are one of the categories where if you win or not win, you definitely are proud to say, at least I was nominated amongst these incredible, noticeable names. Now, we've asked our people on social media if they've got any questions for you. So we've got Shireen Abrahams, who says...
she's a regular, Shireen.
I know, everyone knows Shireen's our girl, I'm telling you.
I love it, man, yeah.
She says, hey, Graeme, how are you and your fiancé coping, having another baby on the way and a son in this very difficult time? All I wish for you and Lindsay is all the best, and may you have a healthy baby. Lots of love to you and your family, especially to Lindsay and Jack. Love from a big Expresso fan.
Wow, thank you so much. And I see you, man. I know you. I know you. That's a really good question. I mean, it's been a bit of a crazy time. The bizarre thing is, with a baby coming, and we've got a little girl on the way, and I mean, everything else pales into insignificance next to that. So as much as there's this craziness going on around us, I kind of feel like I'm in the eye of the storm. And Lindsay has just been phenomenal with looking after Jack and helping him, because it's a difficult time for a 3-year-old to understand what's going on and why he now can't see his mates and why he's got to be in this kind of weird overstimulated space. And she's been just phenomenal with that. I mean, I don't think we've ever thought we could make that much Play-Doh and do that many, you know, activities at home.
Puzzles.
But and my little boy has just been amazing through it as well. And he really is a little trooper. Like he's been amazing through so many different transitional periods, and he's just dealt with this like a little champion. And he's a very loving, affectionate boy, which, oh man, it makes life so good when you've got that kind of reciprocal love coming at you. But I mean, it's crazy. I don't quite know what I'm going to say to this little girl 20 years from now about the time when she was born, because this is all unprecedented. We're all going through something that none of us have ever experienced before. It's a global shared experience that is just so strange. But yeah, we're ready, to bring, regardless of whatever environment, circumstances, we're ready to welcome this little girl into the world. And who knows, I mean, this might leave an imprint on her that's going to make her this incredibly strong, powerful, tough little girl, woman that she needs to be. And that's awesome,
I find with children, they've got so much tenacity and resilience that we really do underestimate the power that they have. So I know both Jack and your little one are going to rise up and be superstars coming out of this time. We've got another question here from Issa, and Issa says, "Hi, Graeme. Love to see you this afternoon on my favorite show." Oh, that's so lovely. My question is, what has been your top moments in this year so far?
Top moment in this year, undoubtedly proposing to Lindsay and her saying yes, and it was quite a build-up to that. And I mean, we've obviously been deeply connected for a long time, but it just, I couldn't bear her not knowing how much I love her and need her in my world and my space. And and like I wasn't never a big believer in marriage. I have a serious issue with authority and kind of convention and all those things. And it just, it was just the way it all worked out was amazing, and she was amazing, and it just, it was something I'll treasure forever.
What a beautiful moment to look back on, and I'm pretty sure in a week's time you're gonna have another top moment.
And I'm a crier, I'm gonna be.
I know, you're kind of making me crying right now. We've got our last question here from Usabelo_B on Twitter, who asked, what are some of the challenges that he has encountered in this career, and an interview that you'll never ever forget? That's a good question.
It's worth, and this I suggest you do, like take stock of the interviews that you do, because after a while you start forgetting about these things and you'll remember it, and you're suddenly like, oh my word, I actually met that person, interviewed that person. There have been so many, so many. I think for me, I've enjoyed meeting the unsung heroes and people that nobody knows that are doing amazing things.
Interesting.
Because you meet these people that are living completely selfless lives, you know, living for other people, in the service of other people, without any thought of recognition whatsoever. And they don't realize how amazing they are. And just for that moment, you get to let them feel it and connect them to other people and give them an opportunity to really shine and authentically, again, be themselves. And so I loved that. But I had the opportunity to interview Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And because I was interviewing him and Leia, his daughter, I took my mom, who had a very deep connection to him, and almost a spiritual kind of connection to him, and the struggle in that sense. And we ended up, he kind of cancelled later meetings, closed down his office. We ended up sitting having tea.
Graeme.
And I got to have tea with the Arch and my mom and his daughter. And so for my mom to see that, and the best thing ever, like, he took my mom aside at the end of it, and he was like, you know, you've raised a good man, you know, a good boy. And that, I mean, like, who gets to experience that? I mean, come on.
Here I was thinking you were going to say David Coulthard, but no, you were just casually having tea.
And David was cool, man. But,
with Desmond Tutu.
And, you know, I've literally been able to interview kind of, you know, UEFA Championship winning footballers, and I've toured with the 1995 rugby legends. I got to sit and make Francois Pinot cry.
I mean, like, Graeme, I'm sick now at this stage. I mean, you are such an overachiever. You have definitely earned your... you've earned your place. You've earned your role in this industry. And I'm now going to find out how you're going to earn your keep in that kitchen. So get your ingredients together, because after the break, we head to the kitchen with Graeme. And, of course, we are cooking along for the Afternoon Express Cook-Along. See you after these.